don't break. Please don't break. Please, be good to me. Be good to me, baby. Be good. Don't break on me. Maybe. Maybe, baby. We should be live everywhere. Dude. I think it's good. I think it's good right now. Maybe. We'll see. Because it seems like it stays good for, like, the audio is good for a bit and then it starts splitting in time. If that makes sense. There is a delay of some sort. I'm not losing anything. No lag. Seems to be working. Even the numbers look good. So let me just work with this and let's see. We can we can start with some of these videos. Let's do it. Let's do it. Before we start, I'm gonna open some a liquid bread. We need to hydrate ourselves. Oh my. The setup is... I think it's fine, but there has been like an update to OBS. It really feels weird. Never mind. No product placement. But, listen. Ooh. Good. Good. I have this. Why the smartest people I know set constraints, not goals. Maybe it's bullshit, maybe it's good. Let us see.
Green Eggs and Ham is one of the best-selling children's books in history. And it was written on a bet that Theodore Geisel, aka Dr. Seuss, couldn't write an entire book using only 50 words. He won that bet. Star Wars, the most valuable film franchise ever created, it only exists because George Lucas couldn't get the rights to Flash Gordon. That's what he wanted, but he couldn't get it. So he was forced to invent something original instead. Michelangelo's David, maybe the most famous work of art in human history, was carved from a block of marble that other sculptors in Florence had already rejected. It was too thin, they said, too flawed. No one else wanted it. 3 of the most iconic creative works ever made. All 3 built on constraints. That's not a coincidence, that's a pattern. I've spent the last 20 years studying how people perform and innovate across science, sports, medicine, technology, and the arts. My first book, The Sports Gene, was about the raw materials.
David Epstein! What am I watching, dude? Who is this guy?
People start with. My second book, Range, was about why breadth
I'm not going to comment on that.
Beats early specialization, and why the most impactful people are often generalists, not specialists. But the question I kept getting asked after Range was, okay, once you have all that breadth, how do you focus it? How do you turn range into results? That question sent me down a research path that became my next book. And the answer I kept finding across every domain I studied, from Silicon Valley to Renaissance sculpture to jazz to Hollywood to NASA, was the same: constraints. Here's what I've come to believe. The smartest people I know, they don't set goals so much as they set constraints. A goal tells you what you want to achieve, and that's fine. But a constraint tells you how you're actually going to work. Goals are about outcomes that you can't fully control. Constraints are about process, the boundaries and the rules that you impose on yourself to aim your creativity and focus your effort. And in every domain where the path isn't obvious, where you're doing something genuinely creative or engaged in something uncertain or ambitious. Constraints beat goals every time. And I want to show you why. And then I want to show you how to actually do it. It's the early 19th.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Because sometimes what happens even to me in science is that I set myself a goal, right? And at some point, you will realize that, or some people may not even realize that, but I do. Sometimes you just realize, right, that you are too narrowly looking at your goal, ignoring all the obstacles that might be impenetrable, right? And you need to just set yourself, as this guy says, like better constraints in which you can operate, right? So they give you a leeway, same as your, let's say, you're doing a video or something like this on YouTube. Sometimes you might have an idea of like, okay, I want it to be like this way, right? And then you realize, that the reality is not the way you thought it would be, right? And so, in order to reach your goal within a certain range, you need to navigate somehow, right? And if you don't have these guardrails, the constraints themselves, you will probably not even reach it, right? Like, because you will be too distracted with so many opportunities or options to choose from. So this way, you can narrow it down. And it might be narrowing it by all the possibilities that you think might lead to the goal, or you can narrow it down by what you actually care about personally, right? If it's something like more artistic, not like scientific, right? Then you want to narrow it down by what you like to do, right? For example, if you create a YouTube channel, like, okay, I will operate within these bounds. That's going to be my niche or something, right? So I think it goes clearly the right direction. Dude, it's getting worse. The audio is getting tremendously worse. Like this is definitely not it. I might actually just turn the monitoring off at this point. Let me turn it off, and I'm gonna deal with it later, because this is horrible. I cannot properly hear myself. Dude. Let's do it like this. I don't know. Like, I will see my levels here, at least, like, physically. I'm not gonna hear it, but... which is annoying.
1990s
But
in Silicon
whatever.
Valley. A company called General Magic is the hottest thing in tech. Part of the team that designed the original Macintosh has come together to build something totally new. A handheld device that'll let you send messages, seek out information, shop virtually. If you look at their early sketches, they're literally the iPhone, 15 years early. They have the best engineers in the world. They have a vision so compelling that Goldman Sachs takes them public before...
Yeah, literally the iPhone. Literally the iPhone. Looks at a brick, dude.
Engineers in the world. They have a vision so compelling that Goldman Sachs takes them public before they even have a product. The first so-called concept IPO. Money pours in, talent pours in. There's no limits on what they can build. And so they build everything. Whatever anyone thinks is cool, it goes in. Every feature, every direction, every possibility. It's
this
all
brick. Show me.
the project, no. Every direction, every...
I mean, kind of. Is that actual sketch from them from back then? Or
every
did you make this shit
it's
up?
all on the table. The project grows and grows and grows. There are no boundaries. No one says no.
Original iPhone sketch. Suspicious link. Drawing. Dude, it's so weird to not hear myself. Look at this. An actual Apple. The original iPhone. An Apple phone patent from 1985. This is so nice, dude. Imagine, I would actually buy this shit. Look at it. So, dude, I think the video is not accurate enough.
No one has to. They have enough resources. They have everything. General Magic becomes one of the most spectacular failures in Silicon Valley history. Meanwhile, a single third-party app developer who had been working on General Magic's platform looks at the dozens of features that this mega team is building and does the opposite. He picks three things: a memo pad, a contacts list, and a calendar, strips away everything else, and he ships. That product is the Palm Pilot. It became a massive hit. Same era, similar technology. One team has everything, the other has almost nothing, and the one with nothing wins. General Magic fails because they have no constraints. The Palm Pilot succeeds because it has almost nothing but constraints. I've spent the
What do you mean by constraints? You mean by constraints you have less options to do on that phone? I don't know, man.
last few years researching stories like this for my next book, Inside the Box: How Constraints Make Us Better. And the pattern keeps showing up. In technology, in art, in music, in architecture, in filmmaking. The smartest, most creative people that I encountered in these few years, they don't succeed by setting bigger goals. They succeed by setting tighter constraints, working inside a literal box. Tony Fadell is the engineer known as the Podfather for his work creating the iPod. And he later co-founded the smart thermostat company Nest. I spent a lot of time talking to him about how he builds things, because he was actually at General Magic, and he came out of it as a zealot for the importance of constraints. And one story he told me stuck with me. When Fadell and his team were developing the smart thermostat, he did something unusual. Before they had a product, he made them prototype the packaging, the box. No product, a box. A box for something that didn't exist.
You want to create a video on YouTube? First create a thumbnail. Probably.
Fadell's logic was simple. The box is small.
There's not
It can only hold so much.
a good logic.
Whatever goes
here,
on that box, the images, the words, the promises to the customer, those are the things that actually matter. If you can't fit it on the box, it's probably not essential. Working inside a literal box forced the team to figure out their priorities. As Fadell told me, with these ultra constraint-based things, it makes you think hard. It slows you down, but it forces that thinking. And here's where it connects to something bigger. When I asked Fadell for the single most important piece of advice that he gives to the new entrepreneurs that he mentors now, he didn't say think big or move fast or any of those usual Silicon Valley cliches or mantras. He said, write the press release first, before you build anything, before you write a line of code. Jump ahead a year or 2 or 3 and write the press release that you'd want to send when this thing.
I have a feeling that this way, a lot of the industry is working today. Like, look at the gaming industry, right? Like, they will create advertisements, fucking demos, everything, like, only like video demos, not an actual demo that you can play. And they will sell the shit out of it, like, fucking 7 years before you actually can land your hand on the product. And then they will deliver something half-baked, something completely trashy, and never in their lifetime of the company will they ever deliver what was promised. You know? So I think that this way, like, starting a business today, I think that's probably the way if you want to make a quick buck, right? A lot of quick bucks. But I don't think it's the way to actually deliver an actual product. First, you should probably have at least like a decent prototype. I mean, at that point you're just lying to the people, right? I know it works these days, but I don't agree with that work ethic.
ships. Include the reviews you're hoping to have in the media, the customer quotes, the headline in FAQ, and just make each one page, 2 at most. That's it. And that's your bounding box. That's what Fidel said. It doesn't mean you can't go back and change it, but if you want to add something, you have to swap something else out.
Sure, of course. Like, have yourself a vision, right? And the constraints should be like, okay, what is my target audience? What is my target bunch of people that I want to sell my product to? Now, what is the aim of the study, like scientific study that I want to conduct? Like, of course, you need to constrain yourself, but like the way you're talking about it is really vague to me. So far we've heard, like, we are in 1/5 of the video, and we learned that, okay, you should first create the advertisement for this, and yeah, whatever, like, dude, I'm really skeptical.
You've given yourself guardrails. Amazon has the same practice. They call it working backward. You write the press release before you build the product or start the project. Jeff Bezos also had the famous 2 pizza rule. If 2 pizzas can't feed the team is too big. That's a constraint on coordination costs. Fidel told me something else I keep thinking about,
Right.
and it fit
2 pizzas sometimes cannot feed me, so just saying.
with what a number of people I've interviewed and who worked with Steve Jobs told me. Fidel said that Jobs was a great constraint setter. He'd set parameters, but not dictate the solutions. Now, I think there was a period earlier in his career when he was more of a micromanager. Like, after he got forced out of Apple and co-founded Next Computers, he insisted that a new computer be a perfect magnesium cube, which was terrible for engineers. But later, at least according to the interviews I've done with people who worked with him, when Jobs came back to Apple, he'd changed in that way. He became that constraints setter. He defined the boundaries, the timeline, the priorities, what a product had to feel like, and then trust people and let them solve problems within those boundaries. At least from the interviews I've done, it seems like he stopped dictating solutions quite as much and started shaping the space where creative solutions could emerge.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before, right? Like, for example, for me, in the science, like, sometimes, as I've said, people are having real trouble with their research because they hallucinate themselves into these, like, too narrow of a vision of, like, I want this to work like that, right? And if it doesn't work like that, that means something's wrong, either with me or with the approach or with the world or whatever, right? But the reality might be that it just doesn't work that way, right? And so, of course, like, dictating solutions is often not the way, right?
That shift
That's
from
logical.
micromanaging outcomes to setting constraints might be the most underrated reason that Apple became what it became. The pattern repeats. Once you start seeing this, you kind of can't unsee it. Take the iPod. When Fidel pitched Apple on building a music player, the conventional wisdom was that it would take at least 1.5 years to develop, probably more. Fidel said no. He showed Steve Jobs a styrofoam model in March and said by Christmas we're shipping. That constraint, an absurdly tight deadline, meant the team had to iterate quickly and make decisions fast. They couldn't overthink. They couldn't gold plate features. The tight timeline, it forced them to borrow technology because Fidel didn't want them building everything from scratch like they had at General Magic. So that famous scroll wheel on the iPod, it was inspired by a Danish cordless phone that a team member brought to a meeting, and they adapted that rather than inventing it totally from scratch. It's very much like a NASA mission that Ed Hoffman, NASA's chief knowledge officer, once told me about. The mission was called L-Cross, and they had a shoestring budget and a tight deadline to search for water on the moon. So instead of developing custom instruments from scratch, they decided to repurpose imaging equipment from army tanks and engine temperature sensors they literally took from NASCAR and used them for a lunar mission, and it worked. They confirmed the presence of ice and water in a crater on the moon. They might never have found that solution if they'd had a bigger budget or more time, because you just don't think of repurposing NASCAR sensors for a moon mission unless you have to. Without constraints, you follow what cognitive psychologists call the path of least resistance, doing what you've always done. But without resources, you're forced to get resourceful. And this is the paradox of constraints. They feel limiting, and I mean, they are, but they actually force a kind of thinking that abundance never does. When you have unlimited options, you settle on the obvious. It's the default. But when options are scarce, you're forced to get creative. The creative case for constraints. If you had to name the 2 or 3 most important writers in Western literature since year 0, so we're not counting Homer, you'd have to include Shakespeare and Dante. Maybe they'd be the top 2. Shakespeare forced himself to write in iambic pentameter, a rigid rhythmic structure of alternating stressed and unstressed syllables that is absolutely not how people naturally speak and wasn't in his time either. Dante went even further. He invented an entirely new rhyme scheme called terza rima, in which the lines rhyme in the pattern ABA, BCB, CDC. And then he bound himself to it for 14,000 lines of his Divine Comedy. Arguably the 2 most important writers in Western history. And both of them voluntarily put themselves in straitjackets. Not because they lacked the skill to write freely, but because constraints focused and liberated their creativity rather than stifling it. The structure gave them something to push against, and the pushing is where the art came from. You see the same thing in music. Bach, who in a global survey of musicians was chosen as the greatest composer in history, and it wasn't even close, was a constraints machine. He would take a single musical idea, just a few notes, and restrict himself to exploring it under increasingly tight rules. In some cases, that musical idea was B-flat, A-C-B, or in German musical notation, B-A-C-H, his own name that he would play with under tight rules. Igor Stravinsky, who ranked second behind Bach in that survey, wrote explicitly about this. He said, "The more constraints one imposes, the more one frees oneself. The more constraints he imposed on himself, the more creative he became." Miles Davis recorded Kind of Blue, which is often cited as...
I mean, it works to a certain extent, right? Like the more like at some point you will constrain yourself so much that you will no longer be able to even move. So I disagree with this one. It works to a certain limit, but I guess it makes sense what he was trying to say.
The more constraints he imposed on himself, the more creative he became. Miles Davis recorded Kind of Blue, which is often cited as the greatest jazz album ever made, by removing the usual rapid-fire chord changes. He asked his musicians to linger on the same underlying sound for long stretches. Instead of constantly adapting new harmonies, they were confined to a narrow set of notes circling a single tonal center. The box was small, and precisely because of that, they had to dig deeper. They slowed down, they repeated ideas, they let notes hang in the air, and explored subtler shades of feeling. The result was something radically different from the busy, chord-heavy jazz that came before, and it was unlike anything jazz listeners had heard before. And then there's Theodore Geisel, aka Dr. Seuss. His editor bet him he couldn't write an entire children's book using only 50 words. Seuss took the bet. The result was Green Eggs and Ham, one of the best-selling children's books in history. Even before that, another pretty famous book came from similar constraints. Geisel was given a list of vocabulary words that young children could recognize and told to write a book using only about 200 of those words. He was exasperated. There were no adjectives, he said. He complained to his wife. In fine Seussian form, he said, "It's like making a strudel with no strudels." And then he made a decision that changed children's literature. He decided he would just take the first 2 rhyming words on the list and make a book out of those. And the first 2 rhyming words, they were cat and hat, and the rest is history. After those successes, Seuss co-founded a book imprint called Beginner Books and handed a set of constraints to every author who wrote for it. Every spread had to be a 2-page layout so the pictures interacted, and you couldn't include anything in the illustrations that wasn't mentioned in the text. There was a word list, there were structural rules, and it became the most successful children's book imprint in history, built on a foundation of constraints. The business of constraints. This isn't just an art world phenomenon. Blumhouse Productions is one of the most profitable film studios in Hollywood, and their entire model is built on constraints. They take interesting filmmakers and give them tiny budgets that forces the directors to limit the number of speaking parts, the number of locations, and the overall complexity of the production, which means they have to focus almost entirely on story and plot. M. Night Shyamalan's comeback films, The Visit and Split, after years of subpar films, were Blumhouse films. So were critically acclaimed and ridiculously profitable films like Get Out and Whiplash. Their profit margins are insane, and it works precisely because the constraint, that small budget, eliminates the temptation to just throw money at problems instead of solving them creatively. Pixar operates on a version of this too. They keep their
Hell
story
yeah.
development teams as small as possible for as long as possible. A director can spend years working with a tiny team refining a story because the costs only explode once you move into production. The animation, the rendering, the full studio pipeline. So they stay small and iterate, getting feedback every single day, sometimes for years. Literally years they can stay in development. The directors are allowed to take that time, but again, only with a small team. That's the constraint. Keep it small while you figure out whether the idea works. They also have what's called the 3 pitches rule. When someone has an idea for a film, they're not allowed to pitch just one concept. They have to pitch 3. The reason is simple. People anchor on their first idea. And your first idea is usually not your best idea. There's research on
That's
this.
true.
It's called the creative cliff illusion. People think their best ideas come first or not at all. But in fact, the best ideas tend to come later, once you've pushed past the obvious.
Yeah, especially what I've learned over the years is whenever you are building some project for yourself or for your work or whatever, right? And the project might be really complex, right? Or you wanna create something that's good enough, right? And you have some vision of yourself in the future, right? But usually you will not get it the first try, like at all. Even though people want to create like the best thing the first try or one after the other, like next step, like carefully think about the first one, finish it, then go to the next one, finish it, and so on until you actually finish the last step, and then you are just done, right? That's what most of the people think that the hard work looks like. And you can imagine it on writing a piece of text, whether it is something that is a factual one, like a scientific paper, or whether it is something creative, right? Like, that's the biggest trap you can get yourself in. Now, listen. If you really spend like a lot of time on writing step after step, you usually lose the bigger picture. Even though you have it in your mind somehow, it usually doesn't work that way. Especially if you really want to get the best result possible. So, what is, for example, a really good trick that I've learned over the years, and I'm still learning it. Like I'm not an expert in it completely, right? But I'm getting better every single time I practice it. Is that whenever you're writing some kind of a text, first is the stage of the so-called word vomit for me. You just take the paper and you just fucking puke all over the paper completely, like create the most garbage version that you can do in as little time as possible. Let's say you set yourself like, okay, I have 2 hours. Let me just puke all over the paper and then like leave it. Leave it for the day. And then the next day you come to it, you read it, and you will feel disgusted. You will feel like complete trash. All right? About it. But now your brain can identify the weak points. You can read it and you can be like, all right. You read the first sentence, the second, the third one, and you're like, yeah, this is shit. So you can tweak it. You can change the wording. You will immediately spot what you don't like about it. And so you iterate. You go through that text and you will update. Maybe some data is missing in your research, or maybe the way you wrote it doesn't make much sense, so you can restructure it. You can just cut it into pieces, reorganize, glue it together in another way, and you can see what that does to the text. And it will still not be perfect, and usually it takes like maybe 10 different takes or something like this. You'll do like 10 drafts, and maybe the 11th one will be actually good, right? And even better, what you can do is take that piece when you're happy with it and give it to somebody else. Give it to your friend, give it to your coworker, give it to your boss, whatever. Whatever is your situation, just give it to another person, and they will, and let them know, like, take it to pieces, fucking shred it, and then you come to it again, and you will see some flaws that you might have not been able to identify in the first place, and then you iterate and iterate and iterate until sometimes, like sometime in the future you will have to cut it. Otherwise, it's going to be an infinite amount of time that you can spend on making something better and better and better, and you will never finish, and you will never, quite frankly, you will never be actually happy with the product completely, right? It will never be perfect. But once you reach a certain threshold, let's say you set yourself a threshold, which whenever you reach it, you are happy enough with your product, then you just ship it, then you move on to another thing with all those experiences that you've acquired during this project that you've made, right? So I think it applies to pretty much anything, and I usually tend to do this these days in science. It's way harder to do it on a stream because this is like a continuous piece of media that you do on a fly, right? So sure, but in this case, you can for example take it as, or I can take it as like, okay, today is gonna be shit, so whatever, right? Let's wait for another day. Like you can adapt this technique to pretty much anything. I think this guy is gonna probably talk about it a little more in his own way, but yeah, this method of sort of like crystallizing or letting your project crystallize into its glory, I think, is the most efficient way and most human in the end. You're just using the human talent, the human abilities to your advantage this way. And I think, yeah, everybody's struggling with it. I've been struggling with it for a very long time, and recently I'm actually getting into it, and I see what he's trying to say.
Forcing 3 pitches is a constraint that breaks that anchoring. And sometimes entire industries will anchor on a certain solution, not because it's the best, but just because it's familiar. The airline industry had this issue with turning around planes until Southwest Airlines. Because early on, Southwest didn't actually have enough planes to cover their routes, so they couldn't anchor on that familiar solution. That problem of not having enough planes, it should have been fatal. But instead, they asked, if we can't get more planes, how do we get more use out of the planes we have? The answer was reducing turnaround time. At the time, turning around a plane between flights took about 2 hours. Southwest got it down to around 10 minutes. Pilots, flight attendants, everyone contributed to cleanup and boarding. That constraint-driven innovation launched roughly 50 consecutive quarters of profitability, stretching all the way to the pandemic. An extremely successful venture capitalist recently told me something that crystallized all of this. He said his main investment thesis is to look for bootstrapped companies, not funded ones, bootstrapped. Companies where the founders have constraints, where money's tight, where they can't just throw resources at problems. Because those are the companies that actually learn how to be lean and resourceful. The constraints are the education. Constraints and mastery. Michelangelo's David, arguably the most famous sculpture in history, was carved from a block of marble that other sculptors had already rejected. The marble was too thin. The quality wasn't ideal. Other artists looked at it and said, no thanks. Michelangelo took those constraints and used them to shape the David. The limitations of the stone dictated certain decisions about the posture and proportions that made the final work what it is, something elegant and contemplative, rather than a triumphant battle pose. And then there was the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. Michelangelo had a hard deadline every single day. The fresco plaster would dry whether he was ready or not. That built-in clock forced him to move fast, commit to bold decisions, and live with far less second-guessing. Turned the chemistry of wet plaster into a ruthless but brilliant teacher of his technique. Over time, You can see that pressure actually changing the work itself. The figures grow larger and clearer. The composition's bolder and more legible from the floor, and by the end, he's pulling off whole scenes, like God separating light from darkness in single, audacious bursts of painting. Reminds me of a Duke Ellington line that I love. I don't need time, what I need is a deadline. Ellington, who I think is America's preeminent creative composer of the 20th century.
This helps a lot, that you set yourself a deadline, and that deadline doesn't necessarily have to be like a hard deadline. It doesn't have to be like, okay, if I don't do it by then, I'll die, or whatever. Like, you don't have to, you know, set yourself something completely, like, irrational. But you can set yourself, like, what helps me a lot is to set myself, like, a deadline for a certain version of that. Each version that I talked about, like, a few minutes ago, like, each of those versions, drafts of the project, right? Those have constraints of let's say weeks. You know, like, within the first week, I want to have this amount of the piece done, or I want to have the first version, first iteration of the project done, and then I can look at it and be like, okay, now I'll set myself another week for the version 2 or something like that. So yeah, especially if you're working alone or with very limited amount of people and you have to manage yourself, that's very helpful.
Seriously, listen to Florette Africaine for a sense of his later stuff. Just had trouble getting down to work without a serious deadline. But once he had one, he could work furiously.
Yep.
In the early 2000s, Lego had one of the greatest corporate turnarounds in business history. And the core was subtraction. They'd been adding more and more and more different kinds of bricks, expanding into every possible direction. Then when the company nearly collapsed, the turnaround was about reducing the number of brick types, constraining.
But this is not true today, right? If you look at the Lego pieces, like new Lego sets, look at it. New Lego sets. You know? You look at some newer pieces. There is like pieces like this that never ever existed before. And increasingly more, you get like Lego sets that add in new pieces just for that single thing that you have here. The single build. Like, maybe this piece, this one, I don't know how to, fuck. Whatever. We can leave the drawing for another day. This little piece here probably doesn't exist anywhere else. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, you know what I mean? But it's a very specialized piece. Boom. Right? Like, the older the Lego set is, the better it feels for me. I mean, there is a certain, time period in which the Lego pieces, or the Lego sets, were actually really good. And then I think these days they're getting smaller, very specific, and they add more and more different, very specialized pieces, and it loses its magic to me.
The palette. Fewer types of pieces, but vastly more ways.
So I don't think this is true anymore for that company.
Combine them.
And yet
it was
they
better
are
for the
really
company's supply chain
successful.
And better for most users. A smaller set of versatile tools beat an enormous set of specialized ones. Constraints for your own life. So what does this actually look like at a personal level? Isabel Allende, the novelist, starts every single book on January 8th. That's it. That's the rule. And it works beautifully. Not because there's anything magical about January 8th, but because everyone in her life knows the boundary. Before that date, you can reach her. After that date, she's unavailable. She doesn't have to make a decision every day about whether to write. She doesn't have to negotiate with people about her time. The constraint eliminates hundreds of small decisions. She also lights a candle at the start of her workday and blows it out to signify the end. Her writing space is sacred. She tidies it up every day when she leaves, so the work is waiting for her the next morning, and no one enters once the door closes.
Yeah, having a good routine for me works also really well. Because once you get really disorganized, then you can start or end or do nothing at any time. And especially if you need to manage yourself, like you were, you know, an entrepreneur or, some self-sustained entity, like having your own mm, personal business where you are the only actor in it, right? Or you have some, you know, freedom at work or whatever. This is what helps the most. Like really set yourself these types of boundaries, and yeah, especially in time.
Her stories live in that room. These aren't quirks. They're constraints that protect the conditions she needs to do her best work. As she told me when I visited her, without the silence and the structure, I couldn't do it. With it, she's produced a best-selling book about every 18 months for the last 40 years, selling
cool.
80 million
Who's
copies
that?
in all. Herbert Simon, as a founding father of AI, won the Turing Award, the highest award in computer science. As a founder of cognitive psychology, he won the Lifetime Achievement Award in psychology. And for good measure, he also won the Nobel Prize in economics. And
What?
yet,
I didn't know this. That's a lot of good achievements and in different fields. That's really cool.
measure, he also won the Nobel
I
Prize.
mean, in economics and AI, you can use a lot of statistics, so it's the same mathematical basis. And psychology?
Prize in
That's cool.
economics. And yet, you'd almost think from descriptions of his daily life that he was an unambitious person. Wore the same few sets of clothes, ate the same breakfast, used good enough solutions for every decision that wasn't central to his work. But his trophy case obviously tells a different story. Simon was practicing what he himself had theorized, satisficing, where you set good enough criteria and stick to them,
Yep.
rather than agonizing over optimizing every decision. He put constraints on all the decisions that only kind of mattered so he could save his cognitive bandwidth for the ones that really mattered. This also helped him defeat what's known as Fredkin's paradox, the idea that we spend the most time on the least important decisions. Meanwhile, since the options are so close, choosing between them really doesn't matter that much. So we end up spending the most time and energy on the decisions that matter the least. Simon used constraints in his own life to avoid that. The Stoicism writer and bookstore owner Ryan Holiday does something similar using constraints in his daily life. He schedules his non-work activities, family time, exercise, reading. It's on his calendar as if they're meetings. That's a constraint. If it's on the calendar, it doesn't get displaced by work. And
Yep.
it means he doesn't have to decide in the moment
really
whether
helpful.
to protect that time. The decision's already been made. Simone Yetch, the inventor and YouTuber known as the Queen of Shitty Robots, actually created a physical
really good.
tool for this. She made a set of dice with different constraints on each face. When her options feel too open and she can't decide what to build next, she rolls the dice. They tell her the parameters, the material, the function, whatever it might be, and she works within those. She told me it's the only way she can get unstuck sometimes. As she told me, if I have just an open field of possibilities, I won't come up with any new ideas. I made
That's a trouble that I'm having a lot of times. So I should think about this one, maybe. Because I am on my phone, I'm keeping like this. There is this like notepad on iPhone or whatever it's called, like notes. This notes application. And whenever I think about some idea for the stream or for science or something like this, I just, whenever I have it, I just put it in, right? I have like different kinds of note collections, like, okay, for science, for streaming, for some reaction topics on stream, for some gaming, whatever, right? And I put it there. And then I just like my brain just wanders off like, okay, it's written, I can forget now, right? I can clear my head. That's nice. But then what happens is that it piles up. Like I have then like dozens and dozens of ideas. Like the list grows on like crazy. And sometimes I just, let's say, take it for the stream as an example, right? Like take the streaming part as an example. I have like list of, let's say, 50 different reaction topics that I want to do, like science or whatever kind of thing that I have there. And then I start the stream and I'm like, I have all these bunch of ideas. So then I cannot, like, naturally, I cannot just go and decide because it's too many good ideas in my mind on a same level, right? So then I end up not doing any of those, and that's probably the biggest mistake of mine, or like a flaw, right? That I get trapped in all of these ideas and I never really execute them unless I really force myself. And that's sometimes not really that easy. Same in science. Like I have plenty of ideas, and there it is slightly different because, like, okay, whenever I'm doing like a YouTube video or whatever, or a stream, that thing is like, okay, I start it up, I do thing, and then it's done. Like after a few hours, it's done. Fine. But whenever you are in science, when I'm in like a science mode, the project takes like a year to complete, right? So there you cannot really explore that much. You just set yourself one, and then all of your other ideas just pile up in there, and you are not really moving on them at all, unless you finish your previous projects that you work on.
The dice to
That's
create
kind
as
of,
specific a brief as
yeah.
possible, and you can stray from it. But it gives me enough constraints to get started. It's like if you can cook any meal, she said, you're probably going to cook something you already know. But if you can only cook with these 3 ingredients, you're going to have to come up with something new. David
That's
Chang,
true.
the restaurateur who blurbed my book on constraints, is huge on constraints in the kitchen. He thinks some of the best food innovation comes when chefs are forced to work with limited ingredients. He deliberately puts his chefs in constrained situations because that's when they invent new combinations instead of falling back on what they already know. Why this works. So why do constraints work so consistently across so many different domains? A few things are happening. First, constraints solve the problem of too many options. There's a well-documented phenomenon in psychology where having more choices actually makes it harder to choose when they increase complexity. And this makes people less satisfied with whatever they do eventually choose. And sometimes it just leads them to make purely worse choices. Researchers have found that as healthcare and 401k options get really large, people make worse decisions about them. And they're more likely not to participate in a 401k at all if the decision set is too large. Constraints shrink the decision space, which paradoxically makes better decisions more likely. Second, constraints force new ways of thinking. As the cognitive scientist Daniel Willingham has pointed out, your brain isn't made for thinking. It's made for saving you from having to think whenever possible. So with too much freedom, it will only go down a familiar path. When you can't do the obvious thing, when the obvious path is blocked, you're forced to think around corners. You repurpose, you recombine. You find the NASCAR sensor for that moon mission. That kind of lateral thinking almost never happens when resources are abundant because there's no reason to look sideways when you can just go straight. Third, constraints prevent the thing that often destroys projects, even good ones. Scope creep. General Magic didn't fail because they lacked talent or vision. They had plenty of that. They failed because nothing was out of bounds. They defined their customer as Joe Sixpack, but nobody really knew who the heck that was. So instead, they ended up building for each other. Every cool idea got added. Every direction was pursued. And the project ballooned and ballooned until they couldn't deliver anything on time, and when they did, it was incoherent. A constraint is a decision made in advance. It's a no that you don't have to agonize over later. And fourth, and this might be the most interesting one, constraints protect against anchoring on your first idea. This is a well-documented finding in psychology research. People anchor or fixate on their first idea and they don't even begin to explore for better ones. So remember Pixar's 3 pitches rule. It's specifically designed to fight this. The creative cliff illusion tells us that people believe their best ideas come early or not at all. The research says the opposite. The best ideas tend to come later, once you've exhausted the obvious ones. Constraints push you past the obvious. They force you to keep going. The real lesson. Here's what I keep coming back to. We live in a culture that worships optionality. Keep your options open, dream bigger, think without limits. Just set audacious goals and manifest them. But the most creative and productive people that I've studied and that I've interviewed, whether that's in art, it's in science, could be tech, could be business, wherever, they don't actually operate that way most of the time. They don't chase unlimited freedom. They impose structure on themselves. They shrink that playing field. They decide what's out of bounds, often even before they start even playing. A goal says, here's what I want to achieve. A constraint says, here's how I'm going to work. Goals are about outcomes. Constraints are about process. And in any domain where the path isn't clear, where you're doing something genuinely creative or uncertain, focusing on that process, it beats a goal or outcome focus every time. Because you can't control outcomes at the end, but you can control the rules you play by. Tony Fadell designed the packaging before the product. Shakespeare forced himself to write an iambic pentameter. Isabel Allende starts every book on January 8th. Miles Davis barred certain chord changes. Blumhouse slashes budgets. Herbert Simon wore the same 3 sets of clothes. None of these people lacked ambition, obviously. Their constraints didn't limit their output.
no clothes at all.
Channeled it. So if you're staring at a blank page or an open calendar or a project that could go in any direction, the answer might not be to think bigger or to think outside the box. It might be to build a smaller box, and then you can see what fits inside. Every story I just told you, General Magic, Nest, Dr. Seuss, Michelangelo, Blumhouse, all of it comes from research I've been doing for my new book. It's called Inside the Box, How Constraints Make
What
Us
a deep
Better.
thing. When you think about it, lifespan is the ultimate constraint. That's a deep one, dude. But yeah, if you think about it, like if you had unlimited amount of time here on Earth or in this universe, you would be like, I can do anything, right? And I can do it whenever. So I can spend like 1,000 years laying inside my house in a bed because everything's gonna be fine, right? So that's cool. That's cool. Constraints eliminate analysis paralysis. Exactly. That's what I was trying to say before, but in a more concrete example way. Yep. In scientific research, setting constraint is about an absolute must. Is an absolute must. Nothing kills productivity faster than allowing oneself to shift from a problem to another when it became hard. In many cases, the solution is to ask the hard question differently. Exactly. Exactly, dude. I agree on that one. Anyway, this was a surprisingly a good video from David Epstein. Is he a relative, dude? Please tell me no. Never mind. That was a decent video, to be honest. At first, I was really skeptical because a lot of these videos, you know, tend to be really vague, and he was being vague in like the first few minutes, but then it got better. And I actually agree with most of the things that he said in here. That's pretty nice. Anyway, good. Well, I have one more video to watch before we actually go anywhere. Yo, I would actually buy this. Like, imagine, can you actually like, they have US patent, I mean, they patent anything, pretty much. You know, like, any bullshit, they'll, like, create a patent on it and be like, yeah, maybe one day we'll make it, you know? And then it never comes to an actual product or whatever. Or if it was ever produced, but it certainly looks... I don't think it was ever produced. Apple phone. Was the ever produced? I want at least... No. Was never produced as a... I don't want, like, a commercial. How about a prototype? No physical prototype, okay. All right, one more video, and then we hop on to some game. I have 2 in mind.
You know what's kind of...
I want to just chill tonight and do some fun stuff. Let's get it done. Once you see this, you will see competitive games differently. Let's see. Show us.
You know what's kind of weird? When someone asks what kind of games do you like, most people struggle to answer. You say tactical shooters, and they respond, oh, so you must like Counter-Strike, Valorant, and Rainbow Six Siege. And you say, actually only Counter-Strike. You say strategy games and someone recommends you Civilization, when you wanted something more like Hearthstone. Game genres are kind of broken. But I think there's a better way to think about this. And it's a much simpler way to look at games. And once you see it, you'll see games much more differently.
Redacted.
But let's start somewhere everyone can agree. Every game has something that separates the good players from the bad ones. Sometimes it's pure skill, your reflexes, your aim, your timing. Sometimes it's information, knowing things the other person doesn't. Sometimes it's something harder to name. The mental
You mean camping?
side, reading people, managing randomness, and adapting on the fly. These aren't just different skills, they are fundamentally different kinds of gameplay, and most games mix them together in different amounts. So let me give you 3 words: micro, meso, macro. Now here's where it gets
Mine is definitely macro.
interesting, and
Just
a little
throwing it out there.
uncomfortable. What if I told you the clearest way to understand what a game is actually testing is to think about how you'd cheat in it? If you wanted to completely break a game to make it trivially easy, what cheat would you use? The
Every
answer to
possible.
that question tells you more
Muda.
about a game than any genre label ever could. So let's put this to the test. What is micro? Micro is the
Soft.
execution layer. It's your aim, your timing, your movement, your muscle memory. An example of a micro cheat looks like an aimbot. Perfect inputs every single time. If a game can be broken by perfect execution, that's a micro game. Osu, Geometry Dash, Aim Trainers, and Tetris are a few examples.
Yeah.
You can cheat
Those
in
are
Osu
insane,
with perfect cursor tracking. You can cheat in Geometry Dash with perfect jumps. These are execution cheats, and you can feel
Flappy
the
Bird!
microness when you play them.
Yo, that's a legend.
Meso is the probability layer, the place where mind games exist. You're reacting to the unpredictable nature of people, not mechanics. A meso cheat looks like stream sniping, knowing someone's habits before they show them, reading cooldowns, seeing things you shouldn't see yet. The best example for the purest meso game is rock, paper, scissors. There's zero execution skill. It's entirely mental and probability. Among Us also runs on meso. So does Liar's Bar. Even the stock market is built around this layer. If you wanted to cheat in Among Us, you'd stream snipe to know who the imposter is. If you wanted to cheat in stocks, you'd insider trade. Notice how none of these cheats
Whole U.S. government. What? Must have been a wind.
involve executing anything better. They involve knowing something you shouldn't. Macro is the systems layer. It's your routing, your resource management, and your win condition. You can think of it like the mathematically correct way of winning the game. A macro cheat looks like a chess engine, economy automation, or you can imagine like a perfect coach telling you exactly what to do.
Darren, ping it. Ping it. Ping it.
Okay,
We need a
I
vote to
understand.
know what's up.
Pure macro games are almost mathematical puzzles. Think Factorio, Polybridge, Connect 4, Tic-Tac-Toe. Once you find the optimal solution, the game is solved. But here's where it gets really interesting. Most
you can
games
mix
aren't just
all of
one of
those.
these. They're combinations of them. And the combination tells you everything about what kind of game it is. So let's look at micro plus macro. These tend to be single-player precision games. You need to know the optimal solution and execute it fast. Think Rubik's Cube
I mean, you don't need to, but you have the option, right? Like speedrun is basically it.
speedrunning, Mario
Yeah.
64, Jump King, and getting over it. If you were to have a perfect micro cheat in Elden Ring, you'd have perfect dodges. But if you were to have a perfect macro cheat, you'd use the mathematically optimal build. But there's one weird multiplayer outlier here. 8-ball pool. There's a mathematically optimal shot, and then there's the skill of actually hitting it. So even though it is player versus player, the room for mind games doesn't really exist. And I think it's a rare exception. Next, let's look at Micro plus Mezzo.
That's true.
This is PvP skill expression games. These tend to be your fighting games: Street Fighter, Tekken, Smash Bros, Brawlhalla. Your skill matters, and reading your opponent matters.
Yeah.
But also you have some other examples like Mario Kart, like the Micro of driving, and the Mezzo of random items and unpredictable opponents. We even see some unique games like Tetris 99. The original Tetris is pure Micro, but Tetris 99 also involves Mezzo, because now you're managing who to send the garbage to. You also have physics-based PvP, like Fall Guys and Gang Beasts, which also fits into Micro plus Mezzo. The next one is Mezzo plus Macro. These are the mind and math games. Think Hearthstone, TFT, Pokemon VGC, and Battleship.
Dude, I don't like auto chess at all. Like, some people just enjoy that type of game, but for me, it's unbearable. It's just like, dude.
Now, chess is theoretically a pure macro game, but at the human level, there's a massive Mezzo component. You're optimized.
We could actually play some chess in here. It has been quite some time since I played any chess whatsoever, and I've never really played actively. But that could be a good content. We can actually enjoy some.
For your specific opponent's habits. That's why studying opponent matters in high-level chess. And then there are some weird outliers. Balatro is a single-player game, but it's also Mezzo macro because the RNG of the card combines with the math of maximizing your hand. You're not executing anything difficult, but you have to pick and choose your cards wisely, and play to their biggest strength. Phasmophobia is also a weird game that fits into Mezzo macro. It's a co-op game, but it fits here because you're deducing a ghost using evidence, which is macro, while the ghost behavior has RNG, Mezzo. Although I suspect non-PvP Mezzo macro games slowly converge towards pure macro over time. Once players fully map the RNG, it stops feeling uncertain and becomes a speedrun problem. And then there's the middle, all three overlapping. This is where the biggest competitive games live.
Yeah.
League of Legends, Dota 2, CS2, Valorant, Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, Rocket League, Apex, Rainbow Six, World of Warcraft. But here's the thing, they're not all the same balance. And the cheat test tells you how exactly they differ. So let's use Counter-Strike as an example. Can aimbot win a game of CS completely alone?
Yeah.
Almost certainly yes. If you never miss, most duels are over before they start.
Yep.
That
definitely
makes Micro extremely high in CS2. But what about X-Ray, seeing through walls? Pros have done experiments with 1 player with X-Ray versus 5 without X-Ray. The 5 still usually win, but the X-Ray player takes rounds they have no business taking. This makes Mezzo very high in CS2 too, which means Macro, the strategic layer, is relatively the lowest. CS isn't about long-term economy optimization the way MOBAs are. The rounds are short and the execution is everything. But let's try this test with Overwatch, and right away we see a unique case, because the answer actually depends on your role. But since it varies so heavily by character and roles, I decided to ask someone who knows about Overwatch way better than I do.
XQC?
So if you compare all three maxed out versions of the perfect version of it, like a cheat version of it, which one would have the highest win rate, and how would the distribution be?
I would just say support is more macro heavy, DPS is more micro heavy, and then tank is more mezzo heavy.
Oh, okay.
Also,
That makes sense.
the way that it works is you have offense, defense, and control.
Yep.
Control refers to map control. Offense refers to offensive options. Defense refers to defensive options. And if you a character's mixture or kind of design links to this concept of offense, defense, and control. Tanks tend to depend on more control. Supports more defense. DPS more offense. And if you actually like dissect each individual hero, they will have different like varying levels or varying focuses on offense, defense, or control.
So I'm thinking about it like this, right? If you were to give each role one cheat, you would give aimbot to DPS, and
Yes,
for
yeah.
tank, you would give the ability to see enemy cooldowns as a perfect cheat, right? And
Yeah.
for supports, you would have a coach or an engine, perfect coach.
Yes, that's perfect. That's exactly perfect. And also, especially in Overwatch, because it's 5v5, because you only have one tank. Like, if you can win every duel as a tank, that's kind of like a free win for your team.
I never really thought of it this way. Like, I know that there are these layers to the games, right? That's perfectly fine with me. Like, of course, I know about this. But I never thought of the roles having actually a big effect on this. Of course, it depends on the game, right? Like, sure, Overwatch will have a lot of these differences, whereas Counter-Strike or maybe even Apex Legends will not.
But what about Apex?
Whoa,
Apex sits
whoa,
remarkably
whoa, whoa, whoa.
balanced across all three. If you think about which player is most likely to win, a guy with perfect aimbot, a guy with perfect wall hacks, or a guy with perfect ring knowledge, all three actually has a pretty good chance of winning the game.
It depends. It depends more on the play style, I feel like, than the character itself, right? Because the characters, like, they have abilities, and they are trying to sort of, like, in Apex you have like these classes of, like, okay, a skirmisher, you have a recon, a defense, a support, and stuff like this. Like, fine, but still, like, you can play a recon legend and still be on a heavy, like, aggressive side. So an aimbot would tremendously help you to win the game itself, right? Whereas if you play like some higher ranks, or even something like scrims or something like that, there you really play highly tactical in a group, and you are playing the ring, you're playing the rotations and everything. So a perfect knowledge of the ring and the sequence of rings that goes will have the biggest effect, I feel like.
If you have aimbot, you can easily kill anyone rotating, but any close range fight will tend to go either way. But with perfect wall hacks, you can use your nades and abilities to take a team down, but you'll still lose to someone with good ring positioning. But even with perfect ring information, you could still easily die to someone who wants to contest that position. But let's test this in a really unique game, Rocket League. I asked Pro Rocket League coach Luke on his answer.
Rocket League is super mechanics, so the micro in there is tremendous. But I don't know about, like, other aspects of the game much, because I quite frankly, I've never played it.
To this thought experiment,
I
and
never
this
played
was
it
his
once.
response. Basically, perfect micro or perfect mechanics in Rocket League would be defined as taking the ball from point A to point B as quickly and as efficiently as possible.
Sure.
Like how in a first-person shooter, aimbot moves the crosshair to the target as quickly and as efficiently as possible. For Rocket League, smarts cannot make up for the fact that a more mechanical person can just take the ball to the open net far more than someone with less mechanics. This makes Rocket League heavily micro-dominant.
Okay.
But after micro being the most dominant, he put macro second and meso last. This is because even if perfect meso allows you to hear enemy comms or see enemy boost,
Yeah,
doesn't change the fact that all information in Rocket League is able to be known at all times. And for how fast-paced the game is at the highest level, listening to a perfect coach verbatim would be better over hearing enemy comms or seeing enemy boost. Also, the closest thing to perfect micro in Rocket League
That
is
sounds
the
fair.
AI bots. I came across footage of 3 semi-pro players versing 3 of the best Rocket League AI.
Crap, and you're dusting, bro. Oh my god.
And the 3 AI bots were able to win comfortably. So here's what this framework actually gives you. It helps classify games, but it also helps understand yourself as a player. I noticed something when I looked at which games I genuinely enjoy.
Yeah, if I look at this, I'm probably somewhere in the middle a lot. Because I really enjoy Apex Legends. There was a time I really enjoyed Fortnite and Counter-Strike. I played a little bit of Valorant, a tiny bit of Dota, but that I don't like that much. I heavily played League for quite some time. I tried Marvel Rivals and Overwatch, but those are kinda... I don't know. I don't know. I don't like the pasting of that. Maybe closer to those two, but still a MOBA game is the Deadlock, and that I enjoy a lot. I had to uninstall it because quite frankly, I was enjoying it way too much recently. So I had to uninstall it because otherwise I would be like completely into it. PUBG I played when it started for like a very long time. I played it for maybe like 2 years. Anything else in there? Rainbow Six, that's good. I like the versatility of the maps, like that you can destroy a lot of the things in there, and that makes every round sort of unique. But I feel like that's a quirk of like low ranks, because if you go like really into like pro league and you watch the actual pros play against each other, they have everything mapped out so perfectly that all the rotations and everything is just... it's insane, the map knowledge that they use and the way the game is played. It's more rigid than, at least that's what I feel like when watching it. Finals, dude. Finals, I played like 2 matches and I had to turn it off. It was awful for me. So not even in here I'm consistent. Smite, I played like 1 game. I hated it. Yeah. Arc Raiders, that was fun when it came out, and everybody was playing a certain way. Like when the game came out and people were exploring and they were like, "Oh wow, it's nice, I can be friendly, or I can, betray someone and play a little bit of a Among Us type of like psychology in the game." That was fun, but once people started really like hyper optimizing it, then it became really stale. Like I started hating that game. So yeah, and I think that's the reason, or one of the reasons, that the game actually failed. Especially because the authors, the devs of that game, they just split the PvE and PvP communities completely, which was the exact fun that I was having the most in the game, when it was like mixed together, right? But when they split it, it was like, dude, one of the PvE was super toxic, unplayable. People started maybe even cheating or something and hyper optimizing, so that was boring as fuck and like unplayable, unenjoyable. And then the PvE was too boring because, like, dude, I'm not gonna shoot the same NPCs over and over and over and just grab loot. But anything else, like okay, GTA and Among Us, I really played. Anything else? In here, like, okay, these really like micro games, like, okay, Subway Surfers, like, definitely. Geometry Dash, a little bit. Osu, I never got into it. Flappy Bird, dude, we missed that. Give it back. Maybe there are some pirated versions, right? And these, no, I wasn't really into macro gaming much. I feel like pure macro. Because I really get like bored after a while. Yeah, that's about it, I guess. Pool, I love pool. Oh my god. Especially in real life, like playing pool, that's probably my #1 bar game that I enjoy the most. Like, wow. Basic Newtonian physics, some micro movements, and you can even play with the other person's head a little bit, you know? Maybe a little bit. Yeah.
Gravitate toward games in
But
the
the
middle,
video game, yeah, I used to play it a little
the
bit.
full micro meso macro cluster, and toward pure micro and pure macro, but I don't really enjoy micro macro games. Speedrunning doesn't scratch the right itch for me. And when I looked at why, it mapped exactly. In Apex, I'd argue I aim pretty well and have respectable movement. I'd say I also have a solid understanding of rotations and ring positioning.
Like, my knowledge of Apex is fucking insane, to be honest. My movement, I think, is decent, like on the upper end. The aim is decent-ish, I would say. I'm really inconsistent in that, but my movement, I think I fuck it up a lot with my movement. When I tend to focus on the movement, then you have to compensate for the movement, and that I'm not really good at. I'm really like, whew, dude. I would have to practice a lot, but my map knowledge and the tactics in that game, I enjoy like crazy.
But I tend to tunnel vision in close quarter fights, specifically when we're in the same building. So I tend to miss meso reads when the pressure is high. And this exactly explains the gap in my game. Because here's the real insight. Every player has a natural lean. Some people are micro players. They grind mechanics obsessively, and they want the skill gap to feel fair. Some people are meso players. They love reading people, and they thrive in the chaos of PvP randomness. Like, we even see a common cluster of people who play Among Us, GTA RP, luck-based games like gambling, along with many
Dude was dude literally took gambling as a game. I mean,
GTA RP, luck-based games like
I really enjoy luck-based games like fucking going into slot machines for skins, dude. Oh my god.
gambling, along with many other party games. And then we also see that some players are macro players. They love efficiency, they draw routes on maps, they think about the game between games more than during it. And most of us are a mix, but not an equal mix. The games that frustrate you the most, they're probably demanding something your brain doesn't naturally give. The games you keep coming back to, they're probably rewarding the part of you that already runs at full power. Genre
this
labels
was
never
like playing Geometry Dash right now would probably give me a seizure or something. Like, I would be so overstimulated, I wouldn't be able to handle it.
told you
That's
any of
what I
this.
feel like.
Action RPG doesn't tell you whether you'll be grinding execution, reading opponents, or solving systems. It just tells you there's a sword and a level bar. And maybe more importantly, you can stop blaming yourself when a game doesn't click. Cause maybe the games are testing things you haven't built yet. In my case, it's the underdevelopment of meso. And that's the 3 dimensions of games: micro, meso, macro. Every game lives somewhere inside them. And now that you know where to look, you'll never see a game the same way again.
I mean, that was a cool video, cool analysis. I enjoyed that. Like for you, dude. Cernix. It's probably the first thing I've ever seen from you. That's cool. Nice. All right, guys, I'm gonna take a leak, and afterwards, we might dive into some gaming for a little bit. Let me play something for you. Boom. I'ma be right back, baby. You know what? You know what? I want to listen to some music and chill a little bit. So let me play some League of Legends. I've actually never played League on a stream. But recently, my brother started playing League, and I was like, dude, should I try even? Because I've seen like a video or two somewhere, you know, and I was like, whatever, you know, I don't want to get into it. And then I saw Yasuo, and I was like, dude, I have to try. And I started enjoying it a little bit. I tend to get tilted sometimes because of reasons. But oh, wait a second. I want to do, before I show you anything, I should stop showing player names. Champion name. Done. Good. Boom. No stream sniping, alright? Alright. Let me just play a simple draft. Top mid. Boom. Easy. Let's do it. I'm gonna check it cold. This. Bro. Dude. I can't believe I'm doing this. League of Legends. Why is it so loud? Give me Yasuo. Update. Dude, I can't believe. What am I doing? Probably trend. Fuck that one. Good for top. Good. Oh my god. Am I becoming a League streamer? Nah, don't. I'm annoyed now. Fuck that. Irelia on top. She could be also mid. Probably. Yikes. Dude, is it gonna be a full screen? I think it is. Yeah, this is just this. Boom, and I think we'll see. I've never played it on stream, so I don't know what's it gonna do. Hopefully the sound goes. If not, then I'm gonna be pissed. Okay, Irelia. We can survive that. Maybe. If she's really good, then I'm over. Game over. Wait a second. Oh yeah, the game is functioning. Why doesn't it work, dude? I need to move my cam. It's gonna be better.
Before I chased a wayward
Minions have spawned.
now I hunt a storm of darkness.
For some reason, my Windows button is not working now. I mean, it works, but it doesn't do the thing it should.
What does one do with an abundance of
Are you here? Good lady? Good lady? No.
I know your name.
Dude, that's what I enjoy about League. That you can listen to music in the background.
It only clouds.
Apex is the same. But whenever you play something where like really sound matters a lot, then okay, she moves swiftly. Okay. She knows the shit. She's gonna be a tough cookie. I feel like.
Humans lie. Swords.
Oh my. Oh my, man. Missing creeps. Ooh. Please counteract it. Dudeski. Dudeski.
Try to flee their burdens. Fleeing is impossible.
Yo, they're already arguing in the chat. They are already arguing in the chat. Like, why did you get yourself killed? Oh, it happens, dude.
Sometimes, to save someone,
Classic League. Like, yesterday I was playing, and there was this dude who was like... I think we played for like 5 minutes, or maybe 8 or something, and he immediately concluded that the game was lost. He was like, nah, we're losing this one. And I was like, are you sure about that? And then he, as soon as we got the opportunity... Okay. As soon as we got the opportunity to surrender, he was like spamming it like crazy. And ever since he said like, oh yeah, we're losing this one in the chat, he basically refused to play. So he was trolling, right? And then he was like pissed that nobody wanted to surrender, that we actually wanted to play the game. So I was like playful with him. I was like, yeah, so you started a game to not play it then, or what? And then he got like pissed at me. And when I wrote him that like that he should like learn a little bit of patience because it might be actually useful for life later, he, like a classic League player, started like, oh my god, he just started like gaslighting me into like, so you equate a game with real life. That's sad. That was kind of fun to observe. Like literally, like League players are some kind of a different specimen, I feel like. You can find some creatures in here. Yeah. I'm yapping too much and I didn't realize that we are getting ganked. Dude. Yapanese. Yeah. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do, my broski? Nothing, really. I don't lag that much for what I got.
We met in the spirit realm. This Azakana upon my face knew me.
I should have picked something else. I wanted Yasuo, but... Dude. I always, whenever I get banned, like, I get my Yasuo banned, or the character banned, I tend to panic, and I just pick Yone, because he's the closest, right? I need to just dodge it, that's it. Because she's not that fast with it. So I can dodge it easily, I feel like. I don't know if they nerfed it. Because it used to be like super fast. So dodging it was almost like nearly impossible. But if I do this, right, like poking her, boom, 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 she has this Omnivamp or Lifesteal, yeah. Oh my god, she froze it. But not that good. Now we're playing.
An ally has been slain. Killing spree.
Cut through lies.
Enemy double kill.
Steel Gale. Walk both realms.
Yeah, I can fuck her.
Hunt. It never ends. Carve the spirit.
Ah.
Double kill.
Yikes! The tower kinda... It smashes a lot.
When will I know peace?
Happens, dude.
No sleep, no rest. There is no time.
Yo, I don't know if you can read the chat, but... what is it? Swain is having a tantrum, dude.
An ally has been slain.
Like, he's in a tantrum right now. Like, answer me!
What lies behind this mask?
Dude. That's impressive.
It's too late for you.
I'm gonna try to freeze the wave here.
Piercing winds. Cast out.
Nice. Yeah, she's punching a lot. She already has one item. I mean, I have the boats, but...
Bound to the world of the living. Denied the peace of death.
Ionia still stands!
An enemy has been slain.
That was a good gank. That was a really nice gank. Where is Swain? He's just bitching. Who's that? Where is he? Motherfucker?
Cower behind polite fiction.
That dude is just... Dude. My god.
An ally has been slain.
And we got shut down. That's nice.
Sorrow. The Azakana starves.
Push, 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 baby. Push, push,
An
push,
enemy
push
has
me.
been slain.
Now, there is only the hunt. Storm of blades.
And I missed the big creep. Okay. They are ganking. No? Thought Yasuo went there.
Rare is the person
Dude.
who shows their true face.
No, she's gonna come. Yep. Exactly what I'm saying.
Honor.
An ally has been slain. An enemy is unstoppable.
Carve away doubt.
An ally has been slain.
This is your remedy.
We can fight her. I'm gonna freeze it here. For a little bit. She's in that bush. She likes bushes. A lot. Maybe she recalled.
Nowhere to hide. Excised.
Yeah, she's just camping there. Faking a recall like this. You bitch. I cannot really approach her right now. Oh my god. And the tower does nothing? Why did you go that way? She was here. She was literally here. Why did she go that way?
An enemy has been
Ah,
slain.
yikes. Never mind. Yeah, I'm not that good with Yone. No way. No way, dude. So what is Swain doing exactly? He has 041. And we have Timo on, but oh
Killing
my god.
spree.
Okay. Oh, he's alone there. Poor little Timo.
But for the blood,
Dude. Can to begin.
what does one do with an
An
abundance?
enemy is dominating. Your turret has been destroyed.
I cannot do shit there. Because she will come. She's somewhere here, I believe. Already.
Forget the past.
Or she's... yeah,
The future.
look. And I need to pull back. For the weekend to begin.
Humans lie.
Yeah, I'm losing a lot on her. If I was playing as Yasuo, I would be fine. Ah, of course I lose that.
To save someone.
An enemy has been slain. Your team
Yeah,
has destroyed
I'm pushing.
a turret.
Forgiveness.
Enemy rampage.
She's still there.
Enemy double kill.
I can still do that. Okay. She has T. Oh. Yeah, of course. Of course she has TP. 9-2. Of course. I mean... She got ganked really early.
Fear once named. No one.
Uh-huh. I didn't even... Like, you have to ping me, dude. I'm not gonna go under the tower again, dude. Because last time you did that... Okay, I'm doing it.
An enemy is legendary.
Too far gone.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I'm doing this. Fuck it.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
I do what
Easy.
must be done.
That was actually good! Not bad. Under the tower, and I shut her down. Boom. Anti-healing, yes.
One blade carries the weight of
Move your body. Fuck your body.
holds the key to my future.
Music can't go wrong.
On a cliff by the sea, I found this
Where am I, dude? Why am I so slow?
spoke of dreams.
Yeah, I'm not fast enough.
Enemy double kill. You have slain an enemy.
Okay.
Shut down.
That flash was legendary. Legendary. For $1,000. Have you seen that? Insane. Okay, we'll do this. Music. Alright. No, I'm not gonna surrender. Surrender. What am I, a pussy? I'm not gonna even reply to him, dude. Because he's like, FF, please, FF, please, FF, please, FF, please. We're not doing that bad. We are capable of fighting them. That's still winnable. It's all about your mentality.
The spirit realm is strange. A mirror, an inverse of our own.
Okay, I'm gonna push top. As much as possible. They are fighting there. Too late for the fight.
Enemy double kill.
Let me push it.
An ally has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed.
I do not hunt to kill.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Here to save their souls.
Your inhibitor has been destroyed. Your team has destroyed the turret.
Aha! I'm dumb. Why am I not moving? Yo, have you seen that? I was literally clicking here. It was still... Alright. Never mind. I was literally clicking here. We can check the VOD. What the fuck? I don't know how that happened. It was like my character was just like slashing. Boom. That's it. That was all that was happening. Slashing. And I couldn't move. My goodness. Oh yeah, he has... Doesn't he have like the ability to take all of your actions? Like in a sense that he forces you to attack him? Maybe. I forgot. Maybe that's the case. I still have the TP, but I since it has like a... It has 400 something. 420 cooldown. Like I wanna use it when it's actually useful. Okay. I had to use a lot.
Double kill.
I mean, she's super strong. Like, she's fed as fuck. So, no wonder. No wonder. Drake, dude. Okay, I'm coming.
You forget the face beneath.
Boom.
Has slain an enemy. An enemy has been slain.
I will save you from
Easy. I'm just pushing this dude. Exactly what I saved it for.
Destiny. Only tomorrow.
An ally has been slain.
Okay. Almost double. None of these guys went with the... whatever. Fuck it. I think it's pointless. Pointless to complain with this team. Because the Swain dude is completely ignoring the shit out of this game. Where is he? Boom. I don't think I've ever seen him in a fight. He's just typing in the chat. Okay. Almost the tower. 1 kill. Almost the double kill. Yeah.
Your inhibitor has respawned.
Azakana trap their victims in a vicious
Yeah, that's... like, you are too slow. Why are you going this way?
fear. And the Azakana feast.
An enemy has been slain.
Leave none alive!
Dude, what are you doing?
Enemy double kill. Enemy killing.
He's just wobbling in between the minions. That's it. Brother in Christ. Oh, that was something, dude. Well, maybe you can do it. You can do it. Okay. All right. Good. That was worth. I was worried for a bit. But I want to play Yasuo, dude. Not Yone. Yone's fine, but
A broken heart,
yeah.
an anxious mind. All
He is
can attract
he is like better kit. But I feel more comfortable with Yasuo. And it's more satisfying than this.
piercing winds.
Okay, let me go mid.
Demons take many forms. I hunt
Aha, we don't have a tower here. That's an interesting twist of events. I accidentally... Alright, click that one. Alright. Never mind. I got wrecked.
between uncertainty and fear.
An enemy is unstoppable.
Yeah, I don't think this is worth. What is he doing? He's bitching. He's bitching on this on the whole team and doing this. Interesting. Interesantes.
Walk both realms.
Okay, I cannot fight her, especially with Ahri around. But under the tower, maybe. Uh-huh.
The hunt.
Okay. Interesting. I like this guy. He's chill. I didn't have ulti back then. If I had ulti, one of them would be dead. Probably Ahri. Okay. Dude, do something! That was a trap. It was a trap. It was a trap. It was a trap. Yeah, I cannot do jack shit here.
An ally has been slain.
Okay.
The haunted cower.
An ally has been slain.
Not a GG, but not so bad. I enjoyed it. I think if the Swain was... okay, I'm gonna give it to Talia, but... S+. I think we played kind of good. Yeah, the biggest damage from the team. It was decent. I wanted to... okay. It was decent. I enjoyed that game. You just keep calm, and you do it. Right? You just play your own lane. Your own game. Like, when I was younger, right? When I was, like, a teenager, I used to, like, be super annoyed by these idiots in a chat. But these days I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna ban Irelia. I'm gonna wait for me to pick because I need to close the windows. Or yeah, like put a cover on it. No, I'm not gonna swap there, dude. I'm gonna ignore that. All right. I'm gonna be right back. I need to do this. I have a lot of light here. And since it's getting dark, I'm worried that mosquitoes will come in. This way I have like these, what's it called? Like night blinds, but from the outside. And there are like these robust, fake wooden, bars. And it almost completely obstructs like any light whatsoever, if I desire so. And it doesn't let any like mosquitoes in and stuff like that. So at least it functions as like a mosquito net also. But it still lets in some air because there are like these little teeny tiny like these openings. That's cool. set. let me get you set. We'll see. Hopefully a better game than the last one. Happy Nation.
The dragon chose me for my sacrifice. I would not deny its truth.
That was worse than wizard.
Happy Nation, living in a happy nation. I should be a musician.
To Summoner's
No?
Rift.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
I was chosen for a reason. I will not fail.
Minions have spawned.
Happy Nation. Happy Nation.
A coward never learns the face of truth.
Flex on him with my music. Hey, what a cool skill, dude.
I wander alone, but I fight for others.
Ooh! I forgot that. Alright. He has a crazy healing. Let me tell you that. I almost had him.
Denying reality bears a heavy cost.
Yeah, my screen kinda went to shit.
My blade is a truth you could not refute.
Okay, let me go back. First Blood is not bad.
I shall return.
Had to use both flash and exhaust, but worth it. Worth it. Or should I first do... No. Fuck that.
To seek a dragon's favor is pride.
First
To
shoes.
receive it, honor.
It'll give me more mobility and it's gonna be... Yeah. The attack speed is worth. He just disappeared? Ooh! You are getting clapped, my friend.
Purpose is only
No?
carnage.
How did he do that?
An enemy has been slain.
Your death, my destiny.
What? How did I... How did I miss that? And how is he one level extra?
As it is to make it better.
All that she wants.
The dragons gather.
I didn't want that.
Worthy. Behold,
Can I block his whatever that the stomp is? Yeah, this one.
death was not my destiny.
He's winning on farming because I'm just like... I'm ignoring the farm. I cannot get too close because he can stun me and shit.
But honor must be proved.
You're so lucky I don't have ulti.
The dragons will not be defied. Every stroke of my blade, facet turns.
Freed from desire. That's what I'm saying. Once I get ulti, you will not come back, but I... Fuck your farm or whatever. I'm taking the plate.
If the truth is painful, a lie is worse.
An enemy
Burn one farm. We are smashing this dude.
double kill.
See the world as it is, unflinching.
What is looking for?
Is strength.
Why are you going under the tower so much? I've seen Locke going there so much. It's unbelievable. Okay.
Worth without doubt is
I don't care. You're just going down, dude. You will not play this game ever again in... Whatever. No, 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 no. This is my game, brother.
face the truth.
I need to be really careful. The jungler did not come yet, but he might be.
Cross my path.
An enemy has been slain.
Yeah, you are being too aggressive for what you are. Okay.
An ally has been slain.
An unworthy foe trusts only their eyes.
Rampage.
Why did that miss? Did you see that? Why did it miss?
A dragon's favor is a privilege and a responsibility.
Unstoppable. Double kill. Rampage.
The dragon knows liars.
Thanks.
For them, there is no mercy. Retreat is tactical. It's not.
If I had more HP, I would have pushed, but... Dude. I don't think it's worth... The jungler might be lurking around somewhere. Who is in jungle anyway? Kha'Zix. Never seen him anywhere.
Truth is not painless, nor
its rewards easily
I don't have TP. Fuck. I would go for the Vex. Is he a bot or something? Like, is he a bot or something? Like, this is unreal.
An enemy has been slain.
I might as well just go. Yeah, they are there. Boom. This is my tower.
An enemy
Acoustic.
has been slain.
Acoustic playstyle.
Been slain. Double kill.
He's just...
With each road a worthy challenge, I rise to them all.
Yeah, he's just throwing at this point.
Believed you were a match. Such delusion.
Wow, it's after me like this. Okay. Come, come, come.
Here's blade.
I expected him somewhere. Can you do this? Little trick? Can wait for him in a bush or something.
Team has destroyed a turret.
He's definitely gonna come here, no?
What is, what can be. They are not so distant.
Come on, easy.
Double kill.
Easy!
There is no
Who's the boss here? Who's the daddy here? Who's the Yasuo main here?
Double kill.
dragon forged.
And I wasn't even a full HP.
Mine is the dragon flight.
Wait a minute. I'm just gonna steal all his shit here. I'm gonna ruin his jungle.
The sky darkens. Bring your best.
Yeah, he's throwing. This is a bot, dude. Like, I can... like, this cannot be a real player, dude.
Double kill. Ace. Shut down.
Feels like the Swain from our team from the other game, dude. Come, come, come.
All that is began as a promise of what could be.
What? Why didn't my Q work? Was I muted or something? Because I used like 3 times my Q. I don't know how that works. Because I didn't airborne a single soul there.
An ally has been slain.
Tangible to still my blade.
Fuck it, I'm just gonna go and team fight.
Truth is not ugly.
Can I?
Quadra kill.
That was just easy.
Dragons are fused.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
That was insane. I don't know how we pulled it off, but...
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Those who would break before they bend will break.
Okay, that was so unnecessary.
An ally has been slain.
It never gets easier.
If I hit more, like 3 at least, then I can go in.
Facts are etched in steel and stone.
You should have done that ulti really like faster, but still doable.
Slain an enemy.
Still fine. Good, good, good. Just finish it, dude. What are you doing? I don't have my ports, so...
The dragons will not let me
This one... What the...
Ally has been slain.
Never mind!
There is as much truth in mercy as there is in justice.
Oh, it's Herald.
To the future.
Not worth doing the ulti on him, dude.
My blade is a
Easy money. Easy money. That's a second quadra in this game. For our team. Misfortune is doing God's work. Definitely miss and Silas. Dude. Let's do again. One more. I still have to get myself some food tonight. Yeah. I mean, Irelia... No. Trinda. I'm gonna ban Trinda. Irelia I can outplay. We've done it even in a shitty situation. We can do it now. It's fine. Zac. Alright. Easy. Easy pick. For some reason, I just enjoy this character so much. Whenever I play League, like, this is the character of my choice. No matter how bad it is rated. Like, for example, for top, as of now, is rated a D. Or C. No. For top, it's C. For mid is D. And for bot is S. You know, I know they do it like, oh yeah, the champion matchups, like how well do you perform against the other champions on that same lane? Like, I completely get it, right? And they have some value in that, but I don't think it's that, like, reportative of the actual value, especially if you play low ranks or something like that. And also, like, this is, I think, cumulative statistics, right? From all the players or something, I believe. And not every player is a good player, right? Or do they take it just from the highest rank that it is played in? I mean, highest. Of course, not challenger, right? Because it's very limited amount of people in that rank. Cannon. Okay. Our team has some masteries. Oh my god.
My flute is the music of my heart, but my blade, its steel resolve.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Facts are
Minions
etched in
have
steel
spawned.
and stone.
Substitution. For a substitution. Facing you.
Live in the
Such a
now.
good music, dude.
Look to the future.
I like it. Okay, you are gonna be an annoying piece of shit. Wait for me to get E, dude. You are gonna suffer. I'm gonna guarantee you. I'm gonna freeze it somewhere here, no? Okay, chill out, brother. Okay. Uh-huh. So he doesn't have anything now, but I'm kind of fucked.
I will not fail.
I wanted to... Okay. I need to ride the wave at him.
A true warrior finds beauty in the weapon of peace. Unstoppable! To seek a dragon's favor is pride. To receive it, honor.
An ally has been slain.
I need to focus. I need to focus, chat.
The gifts of two dragons are fused in.
For him, it's risky to be like that.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
Truth is not ugly. Cruelty is.
Yeah, my wall... Sometimes I move the mouse really quick to the other side. Because I want to, like... do the W and then move and click backwards.
Painful. A lie is worse.
That's a bad, bad habit.
My enemies believe in strength alone. Fools.
Okay. This is cringe.
Every stroke of my blade.
Look, my Q has a big cooldown now, 3 seconds. And I'm thinking from the previous game like, oh yeah, I had half a second so I can spam it. Of course I cannot.
Death was not my destiny. I chose a different path.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
A coward never learns the face of.
I would go back, but I would lose like a wave. Oh, he already has 6. Fuck! Thought I had an advantage a little bit, but...
A poet's song, a warrior's blade.
Dude, you see what I do? I'm just dumb.
An unworthy foe trusts only their eyes.
Okay, well, was it worth? Was it worth for you? It would be nice to have a gank now, but...
Honor must be proved. A warrior who cannot see his limit is a
Let me just go back.
warrior.
You'll burn one wave, probably, or half a wave.
An enemy, however fierce, can always be defeated. Belief
Oh, not even that.
always become
You just got it played. Yeah, that's what I didn't want to do. How did I get hit? Can I? Okay, I'm not gonna rage. I'm not gonna rage because this is just ridiculous. I was about to scream from the top of my lungs. Because I missed... Okay. I just missed my Q. I just missed my Q once. And then I fucked it up. Let me just get... Let me try to hunt him down. That might actually work. I'm risking a lot.
Those who would break before they bend will break.
But let's try it out. Okay. He's not here. He just recalled somewhere. He's on the bot.
The moment approaches.
Okay. So we have infinite stuns on me, and that's it. You have just infinite stuns. Alright. I see. At least he didn't get the kill before.
Dragons will not be defied.
Rampage. An ally has been slain. Double kill. Triple kill.
I wander, my enemies flee. I must see the world.
Yeah, I didn't want to blow her cover. She's doing it there in secret. I just have half of his farm. Like, I cannot get to the farm. He froze it.
What is, what can be. They are not so distant.
Yeah, what am I supposed to do? Like, dude, he just turns into the fucking ball and that's it.
Has been slain.
He turns into the ball and then I miss the Q on him. Then he stuns me and I'm fucked. I need to somehow play differently.
The road goes.
How do I outplay him? I need to bait him out to use that. And I don't know what's the cooldown on that bitch. On the ball.
Godlike. Double kill.
That is began as a promise of what could be. Your death, my destiny. Denying reality is a heavy cost. Unbroken.
An ally has been slain.
Okay, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, he turns into the ball like every fucking second. That's so stupid. Like, you don't have any cooldowns or whatever? Half of his farm fucking turning into balls every second? This is so stupid. Because I thought like that, you turn into the ball, you fucking lose it for at least like 10 seconds. No. 2 seconds and he can use it again. Mid-fight. And 3 levels different. Lower. Fuck you, dude. Maybe I should have gone in. I don't know. He doesn't have the ulti now. If I exhaust him, he's gonna be slower. Like, way slower.
Legendary.
The tangible, the intangible, both are my weapons.
You see? Like, he has the ball every fucking second. It doesn't make any sense. He used it 3 times in that fight.
Your team has destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain.
That's probably the worst character I've ever played against with Yasuo.
See the world as it is, unflinching. That is
Like, he just presses a button and I miss my ulti no matter what. Every single time. And he can use it like every 3 seconds, every 2 seconds, whatever. Fuck you, dude. And again, he had an ulti. Like, how do you get ulti so often?
I wander alone, but I
Why me? I have minions there. Okay. Sure, dude.
You have slain an enemy.
retreat is tactical. Death
I didn't
is
expect her to go all the way. We won that somehow. What the fuck? That was horrible. Diana was good. Who was good? Samira. That was literally horrible. Let me play one more. Dopamine in my bloodstream. Dopamine in my bloodstream. Dude, I'm thinking, what am I going to get for lunch? Dinner. I was thinking getting the actual pizza from the vending machine. It's been some time since I had that. Could be good. Yeah. It's pretty close. It's pretty goddamn close. Stop that beat again. 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 Keys. Do we buy the Ugandan keys? No. Aight. That dopamine. Fuck that. Fuck Kennen, dude. Never, ever again. Bullshit character. Of course. What do we play then? Do I even want to play? Yona. I mean, we can play Yona. Depending on what they pick. Tristana? Is she there? No. But why did she ban Nasus? We'll see. I have the last pick, so... Whatever. Whatever works with me. Jax. Gwen? Let's do it. Fuck it. I'm gonna get some juice, and I'm back.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Minions have spawned.
Orange juice. Cheers.
Mistake me for the maintenance I slay. Let them.
Gwen.
A walking feast for Azakana.
Okay, worth. First blood. We have edge like 100 golds. And she wasted what? She wasted Ignite.
Through the mask, I see their truth.
I wasted my exhaust.
My own dance just out of reach.
An enemy has been slain.
In case some creepers come in.
Honor once bound
Such a wonderful life. Don't
An ally has been slain.
never give up. It's such a wonderful life. Okay. She knows her shit. She knows her shit. No! I want to... Okay. I want a W and I misclicked. Yes, I'm OG. I'm doing it with my mouse.
it only clouds the future.
No! Three seconds cooldown, that's why it didn't work. I was just clicking on it like a bitch and I was like, why doesn't it work? He's gonna be in the bush. Okay. I'm gonna freeze it here.
Aren't you a haunted one?
I don't care.
Piercing winds! Between uncertainty and fear, the Azakana prowl.
Dude, am I dumb? What is you doing?
Killing spree.
Then ping, dude!
No stitching that back together.
If you see I'm not paying attention, just fucking ping one time. Brother in Christ.
I do not hunt to kill. Steel Gale! Azakana lurk everywhere. I will end their
Okay, I'm not gonna risk going in there. 'Cause the bitch was lurking around.
An enemy has been
She wasted ulti, nice. Okay, she doesn't move. She doesn't move. I can predict her movement as much as I want. She just stays. Good to know. Oh, that's not her ulti, I'm dumb. Never mind. Okay. Sure. Sure, dude. Sure. I just don't know how to play against her. My farm is terrible.
no less strange, nor less painful.
What are these buddies doing?
No fate nor destiny. Only
I just fucked up my ulti. If I didn't fuck up my ulti, it would be good. But I don't remember what kind of skills she has.
what does one do?
I know she has like the ring in which she confines you. Then she has the scissors. She's scissoring you. And then a dash? But what's her ulti?
Walk both roads.
Okay, I just wasted my flash because I moved in the wrong direction. What a dumbass.
An enemy has been slain.
Move, minions!
Killing spree.
I don't care about the farm. Get the tower. Good. Brand! That's brand new!
The other holds the key to my future.
Where is Gwen is here. Alright. Alright, baby. But Brand was here, somewhere. He might be still in the bushes. They're in the bushes! Nope. She has quite some HP compared to me. No? Or am I just... Is it just an illusion?
There is no time.
Okay. That was awful.
Rampage.
We traded probably the same amount of health, but... Bruh. She knows. She knows. I need to somehow time my
It's not for the weak,
ulti good.
but for the blessed.
How many dashes does she have? 2?
Killing spree.
Pieces!
Be gone. Some days I
Almost walked in. Dude,
behind this mask.
I'm
An enemy has been slain.
I'm lacking skills. Okay. Oh, whatever that was.
The hunt. It never ends.
I'm not gonna scissor with you. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Oh my god! That is her ultimate! I see. That's what I forgot about. Alright, now we know. Now we know what you're up against. Buddy. Buddy. If I knew that, I would have gone sideways.
Back to the hunt.
Give me some juice. Why is my screen flickering? Is it also visible on the stream? I'll have to check it in Nevada.
Humans lie. Swords speak truth.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back, dude. Okay. We got flash out of her.
Do what must be done.
You kidding me? Brah. Where's the jungler?
The spirit realm is strange. A mirror, an inverse of our own.
Bruh.
Ruin. I've walked it.
She has a lot of damage. What the fuck? I thought I had more time. It doesn't even... Okay. Okay, the combo is not it. I literally thought I had more time. She barely escaped. It's just horrible. Every single time I go into her, it ends like this. Like, she barely survives.
An ally has been slain.
What the fuck? I was in that bush?
Complicated.
What do you mean?
Storm of blades. Cross the veil.
Where is she?
Rampage.
The hunt.
Good.
Too far gone. Storm of blades. Still dead.
She already has TP, right?
Weighed down by fear.
Come.
Killing spree. Your team has destroyed.
See ya. It doesn't cancel TP anymore.
Enemy killing spree. Rampage.
Okay, I'm dead. Oh, yeah. She just comes in, I just die because reasons. I mean, she's fed.
Shut down. An enemy has been slain.
I always want to, like, poke her, but then she commits, and she has the dashes, so I cannot even, like, poke her properly.
Your turret has been destroyed.
And I didn't know that she has, like, multiple charges. The fuck?
Me.
For the ulti. That kinda threw me off. Move, bitch.
Once bound me above all else.
Okay, she's in mid.
An ally has been slain.
I need to farm because I am a lacking as fuck. Oh, not that much, but still enough.
I will save you from yourself.
An ally has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed.
She's on bot. Can push. She's going back.
My blades.
Your turret has
Let me
been
do this.
destroyed. An enemy
I would go fighting, but
an enemy
I need to farm, dude. Like hard.
Person who shows their true face.
unstoppable.
Okay, there's no one. No one left.
Double kill.
Could help her. Okay, never mind. Never mind. She's gonna push.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Out of my way!
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Okay.
I'm not here to save their souls.
No, she went bot. I thought she went top. Checks. That's the first time I see him.
The odds are
Shut down. Enemy double kill.
Okay.
I do not hunt to kill. Asakana lurk everywhere. I will
Drake,
end their
Drake, dude.
depredations.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Is he coming this way? How is Jax? 2-4, not too much.
Sometimes
Brother
to
in
save
Christ.
you must fight them.
Okay, good! Actually outplayed her now.
Has been slain.
Let's go!
Killing spree.
Easy. Dude. Cocaine nose. Why is it itching?
An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill.
I want...
Enemy rampage.
Dude, the screen is flickering. Like these vertical bars like this going.
When we
But it's only in League.
this upon my face knew me.
Okay, buddy.
Lies! Your doubt betrays you.
Okay, somebody's there. On the river.
Every
on a river. Question mark, dude. You weren't even on your line. Shut the fuck up. Shut the bitch ass up. They're top. Okay.
Shut down.
Let me push this.
Enemy killing spree.
Oh, this brand. He has a teepee.
Forgotten those existed. Demons take many forms.
Okay.
I hunt them all the same.
Killing spree.
Bruh.
Nor destiny. Only tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Rampage. Double kill.
I would fight him, but there is probably... Okay, he's the last one.
Enemy has been slain.
Abundance of masks.
What the fuck? I don't do any damage to him from my basics. Like, at all. Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. I mean, when you hesitate like this, then you won't. Obviously. Put me down, put my feet back. Put my feet back on the ground? Is that correct?
Long before blades and sorcery are needed. Words.
Dude, clicking here.
Has been slain.
I mean, you have ulti, no? Like, you could have snapped him. She has ulti. He is stunned for a little bit, like a flabbergasted a little bit.
Both realms. Excised.
Bruh. Good.
Has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Of course. No, I cannot do any damage to him, like Dutski. I do literally zero. I do literally zero damage to him.
Enemy rampage. An enemy has been slain.
Now he's gonna fucking solo Baron, no? Bruh, no.
After all this, the
Jax has always been like this fucking dumbass character. No fucking skill or anything, and overpowered. I hated even playing it. 'Cause I like these characters where you can actually do like real combos. Oh, okay. Alright, brother. Ah, yikes. Of course. Like, why would you... When you see that I'm already basically dead, why would you decide to go there like you're going, like, standing in a line for a fucking ice cream? Like, you're just going in like, yeah, I want some too. So, I'm gonna wait for the first person in a line. Dude. This is not groceries, dude. Either go in or fucking don't. Eat him! Eat him, dude! I want to see him suffer. Zoom in enhance. Where am I? How many people are after him?
Has been slain.
An anxious mind. All can attract the Azakana.
An enemy has been slain. Shut down.
Okay.
Is not for the weak, but for the blessed.
I mean, if I knew that you're gonna lick him, I would have gone in.
Some days I forget what lies behind the flaws.
Tank it. Oh! Eat me! Uh-huh. What am I doing, dude?
An enemy has been slain.
What am I doing in this game? I'm just existing, you know? I'm not having a great time right now. Let's put it lightly. Let's put it this way. And what is our jungler trying to do? Like, he's just looking at him, or... Oh, so you are just standing. Alright, alright. Alright! Wait a minute, let him cook. Okay. Whatever. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, take the Drake. Drake's good. Better than Kendrick.
On a cliff by the sea, I found the
Let's do it.
strangest spirit. It walked on 4
Good.
spirit realm is strange. A mirror and
That's what I do.
our own.
You know?
So many
Aight,
try to flee
aight.
their burdens. Fleeing is impossible.
Alright. Alright.
Thanks for taking it from me, buddy. Thanks for taking my kill, buddy.
Think that will work. Complaining.
Kill.
Complaining.
Complicated.
Uh-huh. This dude is just tanking. Okay.
Has destroyed a turret.
Okay.
Executed.
He just didn't want to recall,
Unstoppable.
right? That's what it is.
Double kill.
What is she doing?
Your team has destroyed a turret. Age.
Thank you. Definitely my kill.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor. Your team
GG! GG! Perfect game. Perfect game. Nothing wrong with it. Who was good? I feel like Tamkinch. Yeah, he definitely is worth the A+. Definitely an A+ gameplay. Definitely. Uh-huh. I see it. We kind of made it better after quite some time. La 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 la. We've issued a penalty to whatever in your recent game for leaving the game / AFKing. Whoa. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. What do we get? Whatever that is. We have a chest and 1 Ugandan key. Something good, please. All right. Don't worry about me becoming a League of Legends streamer. All right? Because, quite frankly, I'm not having that much fun. Anyway. What is this garbage? Pour or brew? Fuck you. Bruh. La la la. La 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 la. What is my tokens, dude? La la la. La 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 la. Dude, ski. For a stream, after a month, I think I had enough. First today, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to stream because you know what happens? Whenever I start like having this little gap for whatever reason, it's usually related to my PhD studies. So my work, right? You know, I usually get like this like period, like whenever I get this like period of inactivity on stream, then I start having some time to actually do this thing, right? But then I get hesitant. And it's kind of hard for me to get back in because you're like, yeah, maybe today I don't have the mood. Today I don't know, feel tired, whatever. And you find all these excuses and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do it tomorrow, you know? And then it prolongs a little bit. Not that this would be that much of that case. I think, yeah, like few days of me sort of slacking off like this and not going live. But other than that, dude, I was busy as hell. So I was doing, yeah, I had a conference for like 4 days, 5 days. Then I had some family business. Then I got sick. So that was, I wanted to stream, but dude, I wasn't able. My voice was completely, no, not completely gone, but it would have been terrible. So I didn't stream for 2 weeks. Then I had an exam that I had to take. So that was another almost a week gone. And we also had some celebrations and stuff to do with friends. So I wasn't really able to stream much. But from now on, I feel like I'm more than ready. Of course, I'll still have some business as usual, which will sort of make it not that smooth of a ride. But yeah. Anyway, don't worry that I'm gonna become a League of Legends streamer because, dude, today I just had a mood to do so. It was, I mean, I kinda enjoy it, but not so much. I would rather do more of a commentary and stuff like that. So we'll get back to that pretty soon. I don't know about tomorrow. Tomorrow probably nothing. Mostly because I have some stuff to do in the evening. I have plans. So maybe Tuesday? Tuesday might be right. Tuesday or Wednesday. Anyway, guys. Thank you all who stayed here for at least a little bit. And I'll see you guys really, really soon. Have a great night. Good dreams. Sleep sweet. And I'll see you guys. Much love.